Hello gamers and players, your friend Big S here from our good, lovable Scopely. Everybody loves us and we love you. In fact, we want to thank you for participating in a new series of tests that we just ran. We learned that by breaking things, we can fix them. So we're getting better at fixing things by breaking them in the game. And we want to thank you for teaching us these amazing methods and letting us try them out. You're awesome. We'll continue to break things so that we can fix them. Hey, you! Give me your money!
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woohoo!
It seems like our friend Big S got a little aggressive on that one, but today we're going to take a look at the new ship that you out there should probably be getting this week if you've got a tier 9 Vidar. If only there was a content creator who warned us to max that Vidar out. Oh, if only. Well, no worries, by the way. I did confirm with game design and even asked Eco, our community manager, to double check that yes, the mission will persist, as in the future. You get your Vidar to tier 9, the missions will come available on the holodeck so that you can get your Talios for free. It is meant to be the permanent sourcing path. If that changes, I'll let you know, but I confirmed it with Deuce employees. I didn't even ask Big S because he's currently going on a tangent right now. So let's talk about the Talios, where it has a small pitfall, the basics of how to operate it, where it's good, and how you can use it in Star Trek Fleet Command today, tomorrow, and forever. And also, how about we just take a little minute to admire the spikes? That's a lot of spikes. Also, shout out to the beautiful tier 9 Vidar in the background, but that's a lot of spikes, ladies and gentlemen. So let's answer this question up front. Now, I have a tier 2 Talios. We did a lot of research and testing on my live stream with a tier 1 Talios. Here's the nitty gritty of it, just a straight answer. Will a tier 1 Talios as of the date of this video and release be better than your tier 9 Vidar grinding probes? No, it will not. Now, there is a reason for that, and I don't think Scopely took into account some of the things that I'm about to explain, but there's a reason. Reason is, let me actually just compare the two. So here's my Vidar. You've got 752 attack, 510 defense, and right at 1,000,000 health. So if I click over here though, what I want to show you and look at is look at the DPR 652. Now scroll over to the Talios 1.67. Now a tier 1 Talios is very, very strong. What it does is it actually punches super hard. To give you an example, as I tested these against level 33 and level 36 probes, and what would happen is tier 9 Vidar would go like 6 rounds and the Talios would go 3. But in your head, you're like, well, okay, well, that means it's better, it's stronger. No. It's actually not. Here's why. Because ships get, and this is kind of like one of those things that like, oh, we're going to learn today. We're going to learn the game. And like this video if you enjoy learning. Here's how ships work. When you think ship hull health, so let me actually go to the Talios. When you think ship hull health, you think, okay, I need to go upgrade the armor. And then I see like that little 6% happen. That's what you think you need to make a ship stronger in terms of hull health, because you can see my Vidar without any boost from like Tendi has around 1,000,000. Now I do have the below deck bonus right here, which is helping, but I don't have anything that is augmenting it besides that. Officer bonus is something that my Talios has access to, which is at 300% right now. You get what I'm saying. We're talking about the actual health mark. What improves health of a ship is actually when you come over to this little thing right here. Let me find one that needs some leveling real quick. I got to click through. I thought I should have planned this better. Let's use my Meridian as an example. Meridian's 1,000,000. In fact, I'm actually not going to use the Meridian. I'm going to swap it. I think I've got another Saladin laying around. So there's a max Saladin. Here's a baby Saladin. I want to actually you to see those numbers on the right side. So let's compare. I'm going to upgrade the, do I have anything that'll do? No, nothing at all. It's just the impulse engine. So how do I make that whole health get stronger? Officers, believe it or not. You've got the bonus here, which I'm reaching, and then it's actually this button. Watch. Doop, doop, doop. You probably never noticed that before. Maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. I don't know if you've noticed it or not. How a ship gets more hull health, as in more survivability, is leveling up. When you level up a ship, that's how it gets stronger. That's how you get the value. That's how you start surviving more in combat. Leveling it up. So a tier 1 and tier 2 Talios actually fall a little bit short. A tier 2 Talios is basically going to have the same survivability and outperform. And outperforming is what you wanted level 35. Tier 1 is going to struggle to do that because it just doesn't have the hull health. But right after that, it gets there. So don't worry. Yes, the Talios is far superior to the Vidar. You just need to get the hull health needed. Now, let's actually get into some of these diagrams and pictures and stuff that we love to look at. So, for example, let's talk cost. Let's talk this brass tacks here. I need to put the Talios in the background. The Vidar, your old chicken, your old news. So here is the cost of getting to tier 3 for the Talios. Why is this important? That's the level lock for level 39 players, which is going to be a good majority of you. 782,000 charged nanoprobes, which is not too ridiculous. We'll go over the refinery here in a little bit. Uncommons, actually not taking a lot of uncommons. Very grateful for that. And then that is actually a tier 3 Talios is going to outperform anything that you have for nanoprobe grinding. It's going to be better than the Vidar, much higher cargo. Now, for example, let's take a look at my Talios cargo right down here. Look at this. I'm currently at a beautiful 1.24 million. Now my Vidar, 785. And that is with me having the prime for the Vidar. This Talios has got more cargo space, and the refinery requires you to turn in half to get the same amount of rewards you were getting in terms of charged nanoprobes with the Vidar. So once you get to about tier 2, tier 3, immediately it's now superior in every measurable combat sense. You wanted that to be tier 1, but it's not because of what I just explained with hull health. But that doesn't mean it doesn't have value, nor does it mean you shouldn't invest in it. Let's jump into another one. So this is where I would need to get it for my level, tier 6. As you can see, I'm going to need 3.96 million charged nanoprobes, which is about twice as much as a tier 9 Vidar. So 1 through 9 Vidar is about the same as 1 through 4 Talios, and 1 through 6 is about double. At the same time, a tier 6 Vidar is a nasty son of a gun. In a good way, a tier 6 Vidar for just about any player is going to give a ridiculous amount of value. And when I say ridiculous amount of value, I'm saying the cargo at that range is over 3 million, if I remember right. So you're talking about able to go out, grind a lot in one setting, and then not have to grind again for days. That's kind of what you've been asking for. The only problem is you got to go through the process and level it up to make that happen. So there is a grind factor there. But the good news is because it grows so much as a ship, like it improves on itself and gets better in each tiers. If you're a player in the high 30s or 40s, what you're going to find is it actually does lower your grind time by 1, filling up faster, and 2, having such a large cargo hold that you don't have to do it every day, which is what a lot of people wanted. Now, there are still many, many improvements that I would like. I am almost never satisfied. My name's Rev. That's just kind of like my thing. Like, I always want things to be better. But the base cargo of like a tier 6, no research, no officers or whatever, is well over 1 million. And you can see my Talios is already over 1 million. So there's the cost for that. And real quick here, I'll put the crews that are currently I've put on there. You're wondering, why do you have that? Well, that's because Rev's been OPC hunting. And that's another thing I love about this is for one of the first times we have a ship that is not a one-trick pony. It is not. I have been just sharing these across Discord and bragging and loving on, because if you want to be a pirate out there, and you should be, OPC hunt in territory space, OPC hunt those 4-star miners. You just come into here and look what Rev is doing. I'm going to scroll back. I've been OPC hunting like crazy with this thing, and don't judge some of my crews you're about to see. I was just out OPC hunting. But here, give me some 2-star, 200,000 at a time. I can't tell you how many times I went and filled this up. I just swapped from my Eclipse, going from hostile grinding and armadas right here to bang, bang, bang. Take out those Meridians. Doesn't matter if they had a defense crew or whatever. This is what I've been doing. I got into a few PvP fights, but those are fun, right? This is engagement. It's fun. And then out here, more like just coming through and getting 3-star materials, 4-star materials. It is an OPC hunting king in the 40s and 50s. It's fast, has faster impulse than the Vidar does, and tons of value. Now, real quick, I want to show you max cost. Here's what it costs if you actually want to max this thing out, which would require you to be level 58, if I remember the highest for tier 12, or 56 56 to 58. Nobody here is really worried about that. 32 million charged nanoprobes. Yes, that's a high number, I know, but the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, is this thing is great out of the box. As in, as soon as you get into it and start investing into it, it doesn't take much at all to get it to tier 2. You immediately have a great warship that finally, another ship that's good in PvP. It's good in regular armadas. It's good in OPC hunting, pirating, and of course, hunting the Borg. But let's go over a few more details. You're asking, what crew should I use, Rev? That hasn't changed at all. Now, I'm bringing this example up from my last video. This is not every Borg crew you could use. There are other Borg crews that are out there that people find effective. Personally, once you get it strong enough, I love using 5, 4, Stan with Strange New World, Lawn below decks for just maximum cargo. That's what I used to do on the Vidar. Now, the Talios, I don't really need to do that as much because I've already got a massive cargo bay, but crewing is no different. Whatever crew that you had, you were fighting probes with, you can continue to use that crew. If you're curious as to why you can continue to do that, well, I'll show you on the screen, and I have no problem showing you on the screen, even though the screen decided to bugger out there in the back. So we're going to take this off your screen real quick and take a look at these probes. The reason that Rev says it doesn't matter is because these probes are the exact same thing, and what I mean by that is they have the same firing pattern. Firing pattern is the key there. So if you're going to go against these, you would use the same crew that you would use versus 33. Just remember that you need the Talios to be bigger, stronger, faster to take on some of these bigger, stronger, faster hostiles. They're not faster. Same thing. They're just stronger. So the firing pattern is the same. So the crewing is identical. Last but not least, and more importantly, I want to bring up this screen. This is why the Talios is absolutely amazing. And yes, I will move this screen so you can see both pieces. We're going to start on the left side first. Left side has lots of goodies on it. The left side, this is one. Shout out to JulesVern who helped put this together. This is in my Discord for the last billionth time. I have to answer this all the time. Where is this in my Discord? This is in Rev's Discord called the STFC channels. We have the Vidar and special ships listed. It's pinned. You might need to assign yourself the STFC role or ask a moderator for help. Anyway, nano probes right here. Check out the probe cost. Actually, hold on. I'm going to scroll because this is a big sheet. That's what you said, maybe? Anyway, right here. Here's your tiers. Here's your level locks. It's 58. I was right. Woohoo! Rev knows what he's talking about. And then over here are your charged nanoprobe rewards. So you got 2 pulls. You see the cost of these pulls, and then the rewards over here. So if you were to triple pull before with 1 million, you'd actually be getting less than what you're doing with the double pull here in the new refinery. I can't say that they got everything right with like the expansion cube and stuff. At the moment, as of February 13th, I'm not really happy with a lot of things. What I am happy with is the refinery. And Scopely did talk to myself and DJ and actually increased part of the refinery before it released. Ladies and gentlemen, they listened to feedback before it even released. And me and DJ were able to get some of these things made even better. So if you take a look at the refinery payouts, you're talking literally just a few days to get your Talios to tier 2 and tier 3. It doesn't take too long, but here's where the value of the Talios is, in my opinion, long term. You want to get it first. Here's the strategy. Take the Talios to the tier appropriate to your level. So if you are level 44, you want it tier 6. If you are level 39, you want it tier 3. And then you're going to focus on this. Bam. Independent credits. Bam. Faction credits. Look at the juice there, guys. Look at the juice there, ladies. This is the value of this thing. This is just ridiculously increasing the amount you get. So for example, I said if I was a tier 6, what am I getting? Getting over 1,000 faction credits a day. In fact, at my level, I would be pulling, if I stayed at my level and never increased, I had a tier 6 Talios, over 400,000 faction credits a year. That is more than double what I was pulling just with having a Vidar. The refinery has been incredibly updated, and independent credits is even more so. Independent credits were doubled. And another great thing about this, if you had the faction prime, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You don't have to buy another one. You keep the faction prime. You keep it. You don't have to buy another. It's still there. So if you had the faction prime, you go over and you keep the faction prime. Next question will be about the independent prime. They said that there was an issue tech-wise. So what did they end up doing? Well, they took it and they actually just made it better. If you notice on the faction one, the base cost goes from 300 to 380 because you have the prime and it's already an increase. because they were having an issue with the research, they actually just doubled, more than doubled, how much independent credits you get from base compared to the Vidar, greatly improving the sourcing of this. Even if you unlock the Talios and never did anything with it, you literally just unlocked the Talios, you now will get 61,000 independent credits a year. If all you did was unlock the Talios, no primes, nothing, just bam, 61,000. Mind blown. Value, ladies and gentlemen. That's wonderful. That doesn't count the researches and stuff like that. In fact, I think the prime works, but there's the research and outlaw tree that doesn't. I'm sorry, I should have had that written down to confirm. I'll put it in the comments section when I sort that one out. But independent credit sourcing has taken a massive jump into the future. What I can do is I can actually go to my Borg real quick, my refinery. I know this video is a little bit longer than normal, but for good reason. Take a look at my tier 2, and I'm pulling 410. So if I'm pulling 410, I want to go back to the sheet at tier 2. Well, there's my prime. So I guess it is working correctly. It's just not pulling one of the researches that we had previously. So it actually is still working because I did have a prime there. So there you go. That is a lot. So if I just sat here with the tier 2 Talios, quick math, that's like 150,000 independent credits, ladies and gentlemen. The refinery is where the value of the Talios is, and it does that very well. Talios did not release perfect. It did not come out and just slay giants at tier 1 like we might have wanted. But what we have gotten is something that actually matters. It's the shit that has actual value and actually greatly improves your game, which is why I'm so excited about the Talios. Not just because Rev has literally OPC hunted several million. Thank you, Server 20, for the OPC hunting. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. But because this thing has legitimate use, legitimate success, and legitimate value for every player in the game. Did I mention that it has a free-to-play path immediately? In fact, it's the fastest free-to-play ship in existence ever, because it's going to take players like 9 days. You got the mission last week, and you're getting the other one this week. So in less than 2 weeks, picking up the mission from the holodeck, whew, there you go. And remember, all you got to do is be level 35 and have a max Vidar, and then you'll get the missions to get the Talios. So, Scopely, you get a big thumbs up from this content creator. Big S is a little crazy. Your events this month, very frustrating. The mining event, 3 million mining titanium. That's stupid. Not to mention some of the events being very cattywampus. But features and ships, wow. This is how it should be every time you release a new ship. That's my opinion. Very curious to see what people in the comment section below think. If you already have the Talios, let me know what you think. Remember, this is not talking about Expansion Cube. I'm not super excited about that. But the Talios itself, I'm absolutely in love with. Hopefully you will be too. Live long and prosperous. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. And yeah, I'm out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.